So I go a few cubicles down and I go to the toilet because I'm like, well, I just get a moment for myself. I remember staring at the floor and all of a sudden this piece of scrap paper that got passed underneath the toilet cubicle door.
Yeah.
I think I can't even have a shitting piece here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I read it, I pick it up, and it's a message from Brian McDermott, who was, he's the most successful Super League coach that there has been. He was an ex-Royal Marine boxer, obviously coach at this point, rugby league player. And he just had written on it, Stevie, you always run towards the line first. You get involved in the action, and then everything happens from there. You're a tough man. You're going to go well today. I picked it up and I'm like, yeah. That's all I have to do.
So welcome to another episode of the Dare to be Different podcast, where I, Craig White, interview who I believe to be inspirational leaders that have been on a journey of transformation. And today, it excites me to speak to this man, Stevie Ward. Stevie Ward was a professional rugby league player for his hometown Leeds. He was a young captain at the age of 26 for Leeds, which is a big club in the northwest of England, a big rugby league club. Steve was the youngest grand final winner ever. He retired at the age of 26, and previous to this, he set up a men's health organization called Mentality, and he's been on an epic journey of self-discovery that I'm so looking forward to diving into on this pod. Stevie, it's so good to see you, mate.
It's good to be here, mate.
Yeah?
I just noticed how cool your trainers are.
Yeah, they're cool, aren't they?
You're still looking cool, mate.
Yeah, I'm cool, Anna.
Yeah. You are,
Thanks,
mate.
Thanks. So, Stevie, let's... we've connected before, we know each other. We can go in deep for the benefit of our viewers. And what you're checking in with? What's going on for you right now?
Excited and comfortable.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I'm checking in with a bit of joy, actually. I always sometimes laugh when I see you. I'm checking in with excitement as well, because I know you're humble, Stevie, but you have got what I believe is an inspirational story to share, and a story of, in my judgment, losing purpose and then finding purpose again. You were signed as a professional rugby league player, probably what, age 16?
16, yeah.
Childhood dream, destiny, fulfilled.
Yeah.
And then you retired when you were 26, lost. And now, in my judgment, you found yourself again. And I want to really zone in on that. But before we go into the nitty gritty, what do our audience need to know about your childhood and how it shaped you?
Mate, I could go a million places with that, mate.
Yeah.
But what I remember was initially being introduced to rugby league at a young age, six years old. I went down to an amateur team in Morley, and I remember the moments of picking up or getting past this rugby ball, landing in my hands, and then feeling this, like I can feel it now in my body, like this exhilaration and fear and trepidation, but then also like this knowing, and I'd just like catch the ball and I'd move towards this defensive line, of what in my mind were just angry men that wanted to grab me and throw me to the ground and smash me to bits, But I remember going towards the defensive line and going through all those emotions and coming into touching distance of it. But instead of just going straight into it, I'd sort of like veer towards the right, and I'd shape my body up to the sky. And I remember, like, before I ran out of time, or I'd just stamp my right foot down and I'd cut into it, into this defensive line. It's like the moment of truth, whenever you play rugby, it's like, am I going to get sat on my ass, or am I going to go through to the other side? And I remember these arms trailing my waist, these fingernails scragging at my neck to pull me back to the other side. And I remember, mate, that feeling where like you sort of get like your weight transferring to the other side of it, and you footed it the other side of the line, and I knocked my head back, and I'd see like the blue sky and the grass in front of me. And then I can remember from the touchline hearing my mum, you know, "Go on, Stevie." I remember it, mate. And I just feel everything.
Yeah.
Alive.
Yeah.
Creative, explorative. And I felt like I had choice to just do what was in my wildest dreams.
Yeah.
You know, and whether that was in maths class 4 days before about going to the fullback, who was the last line of defence between me and the try line, knocking it over his head, you know, chipping it over, run round the side, and then sprinting home to try line. And I remember those moments so vividly.
Yeah.
And there were almost like no differentiation between what I was dreaming up and what I was doing on the field. It just all blended together at times. And I remember my life being this risk taking, this all out, all in feeling of being young, whether that was being on a rugby field, whether that was going down the 6-footer or a half pipe on a skateboard when I was 8 or 9 years old, or being on a BMX and jumping over my mates who were lying down at the end of the ramp.
Right.
I remember that, you know, but I also remember this like deep sensitivity and awareness for other people around me. You know, and I feel it, and I feel it a lot of the time now. And especially when I'm doing leadership stuff, because I've got all these people in a room where I want to get to a certain outcome, and I want people to crack a message or crack the code for their team. And I think ultimately a lot of it is wanting things to be okay, because maybe that means that I was okay when I was younger, because you know, my mum was. And she had a tough life, my mum, really tough life, upbringing, really, really devastatingly hard. And you know, on one side of it, I knew that the rugby brought her alive, it brought me alive, but then also at home, it was full of this uncertainty, and I didn't know. I couldn't be angry sometimes,
right?
Do you know? And I couldn't voice my concerns, because at times I felt like I was walking on eggshells, and I guess I wouldn't dare to be happy.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of stuff that Gabor Mate talks about. I think it's amazing around this, and you know, with childhood stuff, and you know, the easiest thing to say at that point, or to feel and to make believe, is that, you know, not what's wrong with my mum, it's like, what's wrong with me here? You know, what am I, what can I do here? So you throw all of that into the melting pot, and you've got, I just...
We don't want to upset mother too, do we?
No, exactly. Yeah. So you do what you think is safe, you know?
Yeah.
And weirdly, what was safe for me was to burst through defensive line after defensive line on a rugby field and make the most tackles that I could.
Can I just pause you there, make sure I'm on the same on the same page as you? So, at the age of about 6 or 7, you've realised that you've got a natural talent for this game of rugby.
Yeah.
You've felt your mum and your dad in support of that.
Yeah.
So you're feeling good enough. You know, your king and your queen are in and supporting you. And why would you not continue with that? Yet at home, your mum's going through stuff, and you keep it inside. You're treading on eggshells. I'm guessing as a young man, you might not have realised it, but there's a little bit of anger, frustration, but you're channeling it in rugby.
Yeah, totally.
So you mentioned also at a very young age, time disappearing, and that is, in my understanding, what happens when you realise that you've got a natural talent for something and it just comes effortlessly. And a friend of mine who's a professional coach told me that he's watched a lot of amateur games, and you were quite possibly the most exciting young amateur player he's ever seen in his life. Wow. What happened in your rugby journey? Let's just go there. Like, you know, you started playing, you realise you're good at it. You've got a bit of anger around you. It's a channel. It feels good. Tell us a little bit about how your rugby career was shaped until you signed at the age of 16.
That's a good question, that. I remember backing myself, like totally backing myself, but with the nerves, the trips to the toilet 3 or 4 times before a game, the anxiety, the thoughts of, am I going to be able to do this? This guy's a big player I'm playing against. Am I going to be better than him or not? And this like absolute questioning and fear before it, and then getting onto the field. I remember the team chant we had, used to get in a huddle, 1, 2, 3 Warriors or 1, 2, 3 Raiders or whatever.
Right.
Ours for Cherwell Chiefs, I'd been handed this rites of passage down from our coach, our head coach, Tim Evans. And it was for me to scream the question to the team, who are we?
Right.
Who are we? And the full team replied, Cherwell. And I'd do, who are we? And we'd do that 3 or 4 times. And then you just cross the white line and I'm like, right, I'm here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm here. And it was
that
like,
cathartic expression helped you to just channel any fear.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's almost, it's like our version of the hacker. We stop doing anything like that when we get older in rugby because we go, it's what young people do.
It's not cool.
It's not cool, yeah. But we still run around as Leeds Rhinos or Castleford Tigers and play a game. But we can't do the stuff that it enabled safety and connection and love alongside this fierce competition. We just get rid of that and just think we can do it anyway.
Yeah. What's also interesting as kids is, and it applies in all aspects of childhood, but we're talking about rugby because we've both played rugby league. It's amazing, isn't it, at that young age, how we would, for the sake of, at the end of the game, receiving feedback that we were good. It's amazing how the vomiting, the nerves doesn't even matter because all we want at that age is to just feel good and have your mum and your dad look at you saying you did well today.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And I also think, I'm glad you said that because it brings me to another part of it, which has been more and more discovering for me lately, and almost like this fracturing of self-trust that I had around that age, and especially as I started getting picked for Yorkshire and the regional camps to get picked for Yorkshire and then England and stuff like that. I remember as a young kid wanting to relive it all the time. I just got 3 tries and made tackles and stuff, and I'd be asking my dad, "Oh, what did you think to that?
Yeah.
What did you think to this try? What did you think to?"
Yeah.
And my dad was always supportive, and to be fair, never really came down hard on me.
Yeah.
And then my mum and then my granddad, I were like, "What did you think to this?" And my granddad was like, he was more a motorbiker, like my granddad, and he was like, "Yeah, it was good," And I think that was when I started in and around trying to fill the cup of approval.
Yeah.
Instead of just being happy with what was coming through me anyway.
Yeah.
And this fracturing of self-trust a little bit. And, add to that, you go to Yorkshire and you're meeting all these different coaches and they're telling you to do it this way and not that way. And you're playing in this position now, so you probably shouldn't kick it, or you're... And you're trying to... all of a sudden, you're out of your body and you're in your head.
Yeah.
And then I'm almost quieting myself down a bit. Do you know what I mean? Not vocally, but with my action.
Yeah. That 6-year-old kid that stepped and weaved and burst through and felt an incredible surge of adrenaline kind of is dampened a little bit, right, as you get older?
Yeah, definitely. And the thread that I pull throughout all of my performances is actually when I didn't listen to a lot of the stuff I got told, funny enough.
Yeah.
And whatever the tactics were, and it's cool, that's the plan and we'll do that. But actually, when I revisit that place that I came from all the time, you're going to be at the end of the game saying how amazing I was, and that's fine. But I'm going to know myself that I was everything.
Yeah, of course. Because
there's no other way about it.
Yeah.
I've not gone through this deadening feeling of, okay, so this isn't acceptable, this part of me, and then I need to play more like this because he's going to be doing this. I've just gone, nah, I'm off out to do it, you know.
Mm.
So yeah, going through that period, there was moments of knockbacks and
So you start to feel the pressure at an early age then, even though you were really good at playing rugby.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, because it becomes, I guess, it becomes this thing outside of yourself, you know, and you're trying to work out how you're worth something. You know, different groups, different social groups. Does this fit in with these groups? And you know, I think, yeah, I think that was. I think it's a challenge for anyone, any teenager growing up, you know.
Yeah, we strive for belonging, don't we? We sacrifice self for the benefit of a feeling of belonging. Were there any coaches when you were younger, or maybe throughout your career actually, who coached in a way that did set you free? Do you remember any? It's difficult for coaches because they also come through a system, but you know, were there any that set you free, or you had a feeling of you could be yourself when you played?
I think there were definitely some that, you know, I think at school it was very much like you know what you're doing, you go and do it, you know, which was really sort of like, I didn't need anything. I was like, yeah, so they just give me the platform to go and do what I do and what they know I can do. And I remember, you know, the coach at Cherwell, Tim Evans, my amateur coach, he always, you know, sort of prompted me and let me do what.
He sounds quite significant as a young man, as a mentor for you.
Yeah, he was. I think he was. There's this respect I felt, even though I was a young person. There was a respect for what I did and who I was, you know. Which speaks to you, and then moments as I got older. You know, it was like people like Brian McDermott, and I remember making my debut, you know, at 18 years old.
How was that?
Fuck.
Dream, eh?
Yeah, it was. It does feel like, when I think back, it does feel like a bit of a dream.
And was your life from the age of 6 pretty much channeled towards that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. So was mine, but you made it and I didn't end up signing professional. So what was it like?
Well, it was a bit, it wasn't just making a debut. I remember I don't know if you remember it, but the full team, someone from the club had decided that we were playing St. Helens, but it's on sport relief, so we'd go over and we'd dye all our hair red.
I think I vaguely remember that, yeah. And you were good then, though. You could get away with it because you were good, weren't you?
Yeah. But we went over, mate, and you know, I have a red Mohican because it was either full hair red or it was shave your hair off. I'm like, well, might as well
on
do
your debut.
On my debut, mate.
Man, more pressure.
I know. I'm like, bring the pressure on because I love it. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah. And I played like last 25 minutes and the game were gone actually at that point.
Right.
So actually, I got put on at 6 and was like, just go and do you or whatever.
Right.
So I was just trying to get my hands on the ball, and it was 20,000 people at Saints. It was on Sky TV, and that moment on the touchline when you're waiting to go on, you know, you're like, fucking hell, the big D's. Do you know what I mean? You're like,
yeah.
Am I going to be all right here? Isn't it? All these things, all these questions, all these thoughts, and those moments, mate, when you're waiting to go on, it's like, it's weird what we do as players. We sort of evacuate all those concerns. Do you know what I mean? The conditioner comes up to you. You ready? You ready to go on? You're like, yeah. And you feel, fucking hell, I guess I'm ready. I'm terrified. I'm ready. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just wanted to get straight into it.
Yeah.
Because it's just, I guess I don't know what the word is. It's scary. It's painful. It's disorientating. Just get me that ball into my hands, and then I'm back.
I can get out of my head.
Yeah, I'm back. As like back in my body.
I'm back in my body. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So, mate, insane. You know, we left red faced as well because we got smashed on that game.
Yeah.
And you know the weeks that ran after that. I remember, you know, a queue really. It was at Wembley. and I was 18 years old playing standoff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking around at all these gladiators that I'd watched from being around 6, some of them, 9, 10, that I was now playing the first team with. I'm in Wembley Stadium. Every time the doors opened, you can hear Jerusalem come in. You know, when a coach or referee enters the door, you can hear 80,000 people singing this song.
Yeah. And how old were you?
18.
18, wow.
18. And I'm looking around and there's Kevin, I'm playing half-back partner with Kevin Sinfield.
Mm.
Opposite me is Jamie Peacock. To the left of me is Jamie Jones Buchanan.
Mm.
And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, what am I? What? Did hardly slept the night before.
Yeah.
I'm trying to envision the night before, like, what do I do here?
Mm.
Can I envision this thing? Can I rely on this thing that when I was younger to get me through this game? And I also thinking, you know, I got compared to Kevin Sinfield, you know, which I guess is even more precious since when I was 12, 13, as the next Kevin Sinfield, you know. The signed for Rhinos, you know, the next Kevin Sinfield and all this stuff. So I'm looking at him, I'm like, do I need to be more like this guy? Do I need to play like him? Do I need to stand back a bit more and manage and control things? And so it was a weird, like, again, like this template that I was trying to find instead of just letting it come. And I remember going to the toilet, people staring in the mirror, you know, people throwing up in the toilet.
Yeah.
So I go a few cubicles down and I go to the toilet because I'm like, well, I'll just get a moment for myself. I remember staring at the floor and all of a sudden with this piece of scrap paper that got passed underneath the toilet cubicle door.
Yeah.
I think I can't even have a shitting piece here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But I read it, I pick it up, and it's a message from Brian McDermott, who was, you know, he's the most successful Super League coach that there has been. He was an ex-Royal Marine, boxer, obviously coach at this point, rugby league player. And he just had written on it, Stevie, you always run towards the line first. You get involved in the action and then everything happens from there. You're a tough man. You're going to go well today. I picked it up and I'm like, yeah. That's all I have to do.
Okay, so you received that quite well.
Yeah.
It was helpful.
It was really helpful.
Yeah.
And because I never brought through as many defensive lines in my life.
So he's intuited that, hasn't he?
Something. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know where that's come from.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And this is the thing I'd say for coaches, like, those were the best games I ever had when I had an emotional connection and trust and an understanding that I was needed for who I am and what I give.
Yeah.
And that needs refreshing all the time, you know?
Yeah, for sure. It's emotions that create the glue of connection.
Yeah.
Not theory, not analysis, not logic.
100%.
Emotion.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
And, you know, we go play that game because of emotion.
Yeah. And
then we get to the game and it's like, oh, they're getting paid. Or they've been given this number or they've been... And it's fine. They should be fine now. They should feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
But as we know, mate, our brains don't work like that.
Yeah.
We're always looking for connection and safety and always wanting this connection and belonging. And it needs refreshing all the time.
Yeah.
And
like
those moments that I got, this cue of safety, I was like, all right, yeah. Do you know who we are?
And how did the game go?
We lost the game, and it was.
How did your game go?
I was ace, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was ace.
You was that 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was good, mate, and I felt really, really free. You know, and I felt tough as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know, like this bite about me? I was smashing people.
Yeah.
And I was a skinny young boy, you know, and I had this bite. I just, I was everything.
Yeah. Nice way to put it. I was everything. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Stevie, And again, I also want to just encourage our listeners here to keep listening, because soon I want to fast forward to the day you retired and what's happened since then. But before we do that, I know that your career was like a roller coaster before you retired at the age of 26. Could you just touch on some highs and some lows, like real highs and real lows for you? Because I remember when I met you in 2016, was it?
Yeah.
2016, we did a podcast and I helped you with a retreat that we did. And you told me about some of your lows. And intuitively, I did think, without trying to be smart, I did think that, you know, this lad I've just met from Leeds, there's something bigger for him in the future. There's something far bigger than rugby league. And it's no surprise to me that you have retired. But can you go through some highs and lows of your career from 18 to 26?
Yeah, mate. That as I say, like that 18-year-old me went through this meteoric rise like straight away. So I played at Wembley. We lost that game, but then we played at Old Trafford a few months later for the grand final, and I won a grand final at 18. This thing that I'd always wanted to do.
Wow.
You know, which it was funny because I was like, oh, I'm gonna have this glow about me forever now. Do you know what I mean? Just expect this glow to last with you. And I remember at the end of that game, mate, I'd injured my shoulder, and I was getting operated on for my other shoulder, my left shoulder, because there was a slap tear in there, and I had a lot of pain, a lot of my career with shoulders.
Just constant pain. Constant
pain, yeah. From gym, from a lot of stuff. Which is hard, you know. It's hard because it's this buffer in between what you're natural at, and so that was a high and a tiny low that was sort of taken, swept up in the mass of what was adulation really for that year. And then the next year was played in World Cup Challenge, and I remember going through the line against Melbourne Storm twice and sort of ripping it up that game, getting man at match. World Cup Challenge, 19 years old at Headingley, and I guess that high and that trajectory was stopped a few weeks after that when I dislocated my shoulder against Hull KR away. And
how old were you?
19.
19, and just get your shoulder, okay.
Yeah, it was a big one, and I had to have a lattier where they, 9 months out, they take a bit of bone from the centre of your chest and put it to the left of your shoulder to block it up. And well, yeah, I mean, I just felt, I guess I felt vacant a little bit. I felt like the air had been taken out of me, and I felt like all of a sudden there was this fight that I had to feel any sense of joy really at that age. Especially when I came back and I couldn't put the size on and I couldn't be the player that I was, and I was in and out of the team.
And you couldn't train the way you wanted to train.
Exactly, yeah. It was like this thing that was stopping me just being at everything,
Yeah.
It was painful, really painful. And it wasn't just for me, it was for everyone else. I felt like I'm not being what I'm meant to be for.
So you're living in a world of shoulds.
Yeah.
I should do this and I should do that and I should be that.
Yeah. And even when my shoulders are killing me, I'm like, this fella's fine. That fella's fine. Why is it hurting me? Why am I being affected? And yeah, there was injuries and these highs, which, I'd allowed myself to reach and got there, but it felt like there was I couldn't quite achieve everything I wanted, you know, which...
So were you moving into an era where there were more lows than highs as a player?
I think possibly, yeah. Yeah. I think, 2021, we won the treble, and that was after that period where 2014 I was in and out of the team. 2015 I was probably one at first names on team sheet. I put size back on. I'd started wrestling again and challenging and competing.
Yeah.
And I looked like double the size.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, all right, I'm here now. I'm at the party, you know.
Yeah.
You know, people when injured, you know, when you're injured and people say, oh, you're getting there, aren't you?
Yeah.
I felt like I was there.
Yeah.
And the end of that year, I'd done my ACL.
Mm-hmm.
Which
another big injury.
is massive, absolutely massive. And what that was a period of 12 months where I was on crutches for 3 periods of that, you know, 3 6-week periods.
Yeah.
I'd had 3 operations on my right knee, 1 on my right shoulder just for good luck. And I was like...
At the age of?
21 going on 22.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was a dark time, that actually. 2016 was a dark time. And I remember seeing some of your stuff in your story and identifying with what you'd said you'd felt.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, I feel like it was a big stripping away of a lot of my ego.
Didn't feel like that at the time, though, right?
No, I felt like I was dying a little bit.
Yeah.
I felt like I'd lost meaning.
Yeah.
I felt like there was something deeply wrong with me.
What fascinates me about you, and it fascinated me when I met you, and it must have been just after that, and you said you heard me on a podcast speaking about some of my struggles before my transformation, is, you know, I meet this player from Leeds, you're 21, 22, you come to meet me where I lived, and you're already speaking about setting up a mental health organisation for men, and you're only 22, and I'm thinking, wow, this guy's the next captain of Leeds, but he's also setting up this mental health. And on one hand, I was impressed, and on the other hand, I'm thinking, this guy is going beyond rugby here. I don't know if this guy's going to finish his career at the normal age. I don't know why, Stevie, but I just thought there was something else out there for you. There was something bigger, and rugby's just a stepping stone for you to move to that. And I know you've got a story and a message to share with the world, but what prompted you to set up Mentality as a 22-year-old?
We were always, you know, at the club, we were always prompted to develop and prepare for when, you know, when you would eventually retire and stop playing. And even to have, you know, it was like this message to have something as well as rugby, because what I just learned of having 9 months out with my shoulder, and then 12 months out with my knee within 3 years, was that, especially on my knee, I was like, wow, this is fragile, this, you know? And also, I looked around in the different circles in rugby that I was in, and there was a lot of people that were taking prescription drugs. And
and I guess you'd had a lot by that stage as well.
I was with the injuries.
Antibiotics, anti-inflammatories.
Yeah. And I was like, is this for, what is this for? Is this for like physical? Because people seem to be doing it a lot. Do you know, like, what we doing here? Like, because I don't want to do that. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel right to me that. And then I had all this time, I was just doing rehab for 12 months. And I was like, there's more going on. There's loads more going on. And this is the only way to do it. You know, I was like, this can't be the only way to do it, to feel like this, or to feel so closed off. And for me, it was like, I don't know, mate, even launching Mentality, I remember launching it at Magic Weekend, which is obviously when all these teams go up to Newcastle at the time, and they play a round of fixtures. So it's like a festival, every team's up there. And I launched Mentality with an article of my experience from feeling that depression in 2014 and how anxious I felt even writing it.
Of course. Well, you come from this butch world of rugby league, don't you?
Yeah.
To write something like that, it's quite courageous.
Yeah. I didn't even know what courageous was at that point. I didn't even know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I just felt this surge through me that I needed to do something. I don't know why, but it felt right, and all of a sudden it means, do you know what? I can go and speak to people like yourself. I can speak to Wim Hof. I can speak to all these people because I'm a rugby player, and I can learn. And that's what I think. I think a lot of the anxiety that I had was from not being authentic. When I look back,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? I think that's a message for me.
Yeah, of course.
The wisdom of anxiety was saying, "Where are you here?"
And the wisdom of hitting rock bottom has brought this insight through you.
Yeah, I've been at rock bottom loads.
Yeah.
Been at rock bottom loads, and launching mentality was like, well, it's an exploration, this, because I'm out for 12 months.
Yeah.
And that's why I decided to do it. I'd always listened to music all through my childhood where they didn't repress. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether that was Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd or Kanye West or Linkin Park, and I'd be listening to them and I'd feel electric.
Yeah.
And I'd listen to the words that they use and what they mean, and I'd feel like, I'd feel like this energy from feeling like my mind's expanding in understanding what they're saying. But then rugby, the game, you have to get yourself into that place to allow that performance to flow. But loads of stuff around it is taking you away from it,
Yeah, from your naturalness.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I think I was like, no, this is a bit of me as well. Do you know what I mean? I think this is a bit of me as well. And I know that it's probably not cool or tough or but
so setting mentality up give you a sense of purpose during your rehab.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine not having that during that time,
Yeah.
And the club were great, I remember the club were great, and Brian Mack were good with it, and supportive, and it was a lot, but it was good,
Yeah. So fast forward from the age of 22 to the age of 26. At the age of 26, you made captain of Leeds, which is a dream come true for a Leeds lad. And then not long after, at the age of 26, you've retired from professional rugby. Can you speak about your retirement? Because I'm telling myself that you must have been, for a while, thinking about, do I stay, do I go, do I stay, do I go, do I stay, do I go? And can you tell me about the day you decided to retire and how it was for you to retire from professional rugby league?
The writing was on the wall, really, with the injury. I was all intentions to get back. I was captain for that year and going forward, and all intentions was to get back and to lead the team for what we'd started, what we developed. I had an amazing pre-season, fully fit all the way through pre-season and the friendlies, and we were going somewhere, and then I'd got the brain injury and trying to recover and get back. But, as I sit here, mate, like, I still have migraine now, and dizziness, and I think there probably is a world where people just carry on with it, and I know I've spoke with people to know that they have done that. But as I was having all those symptoms, 6 months in, still not getting better. 7, 8 months, it was like this gradual sort of, and it was COVID as well. So it was like away from everything, and I was in this time period. It was weird for everyone, and I'm like, I think this is happening. I think I'm going to have to stop.
Right.
And then officially, it was when I retired, when I realised I wasn't getting better. It was like just less than a year after when I put a statement out and retired, and it was, well, I don't know, mate. When I look back, it's like all this spiral of complete devastation, denial, worry, fear, and the denial has been strong. I think even over the last few years, there's been a denial about it. And it's like, you know, I'll grieve, mate. I'll grieve it big time. And I never even knew that there was feelings and emotions possible to what I've grieved, you know.
Yeah. It's 20 years of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Long time.
My first love.
It's your first love, yeah.
Yeah.
It's your baby, it's your family, it's your sense of belonging. It's big.
And yeah, man, I think it's a weird thing. I think there's this, my mind will pick it up and it'll worry about something to keep me away from the grief. You know, like it protects me from the grief.
Yeah.
But when I go into it, it's funny, innit? It's like, you know, a lot of it is mental health. We talk about mental health a lot, and I've got good of working out what's happening in my mind and the story of it, and you know the beliefs of stuff. And but actually, the more and more I've understood over the last year, because I've had to do it, is my body's like there's this like world that is just for one has been absolutely battered for years and years.
Yeah.
But also it feels like, you know, when I meditate and go into the pain and into the fear that I feel in my chest and my body, I feel like this sense of real acceptance eventually. You know, it's like going through that line, you know, there's the fear and stuff going up to the line, but when I get through the other side of the line, it's like, wow. And it's like my body's like an old friend that's always had my back, really.
Yeah.
And it's always had the answer, especially playing rugby.
Yeah.
As soon as my mind switches off, it's like, right, okay, we can do what needs to be done now.
Yeah.
But you know, you mentioned that shoulds, that living in the world of shoulds. In that the armory that we collect when we grow up and we live in the rugby world and in life, you know, the certainty. But I'm so much better now at living in uncertainty.
Yeah. Yeah.
So much better. Like, feel loads more grounded in it. Which is what I wish I'd have got somewhere near, you know, years ago, to be honest.
So you're 26, you've had to retire as lead captain from your beloved sport of rugby league. Can't have been an easy decision. I remember you came on one of my leadership retreats just after you retired, and I felt for you because I knew that you didn't have crystal clear clarity on what your brain injury was. You were still having ups and downs. Sometimes you had to leave the room, and I felt for you. You couldn't sit with noise. You weren't sure what you were going to do with your career. You had some financial stress. And I know it's a never-ending journey for you, Stevie. But it does seem from the outside looking in that, you know, you're moving towards a sense of purpose. You've got a message. You're now a public speaker. Apparently you're very good at it. You've got a message to the world, an authentic message. You've fell in love over the last few years. Can you talk about the last 4 years? Like, how have you navigated the pain of retiring, the pain of having a brain injury, the pain of your health, ups and downs, to where you are now? How have you navigated what's gone on for you, and where you're at now?
4 years, yeah. I think a lot of the first year and a half, I was desperate to try and find how to get better. Do you know what I mean? I was like, what's going to get me better here? You know, what is the thing that's going to get me better? You know, trying all sorts of treatments and medical stuff, and going through that journey. And obviously on that retreat, it was like trying to find a launch pad for, I guess, what is next for me. You know, where do I go next here? I've had to move massively into acceptance, to be honest.
Acceptance.
Yeah, massively. And I think it came in periods, but I've had to move into acceptance. Denial, like you say, mate, denial of the being injured. Like, what is this thing that's stopping me?
Yeah.
Why can I not get better?
Yeah.
Like, I've been able to play through things. I've been able to get better with things, but I can't. Why is this not shifting? You know, why is it not moving? And I'm not even there yet. And a lot of me is like, well, unless I can find gratitude in this moment for now, you know, I'll get better in 6 years, but I'll still be thinking about what else needs to be better. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I get to that point, but ultimately, mate, the main thing that I've found is, as I said, being okay with uncertainty and being okay with me not knowing. Do you know what I mean? I have no idea.
Beautiful.
No idea, literally. And when I'm at my best every morning and every night, I'm sitting with myself and I'm feeling into my body, and eventually I sort of come to terms with not being able to know, and not having the answer, and thinking that realistically I'm powerless for what I want to happen and what's right. I don't even know what's right. Do you know what I mean? What is right? I've lived, you know, a life in rugby and coming up through at the Rhinos and finding this multiple choice thing where if I can pick the right answer, then it's going to be all right. You know, and to find certainty with something. I don't care about that now. I don't. It's not there.
Big shift.
Yeah, it's not there. I don't.
Big shift.
And I don't know what. Even stuff like, you know, being a good person. I had an idea of what a good person was.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it was to please.
Yeah, the mask of a good person.
Yeah. To please other people and to make sure I'm safe. You know, and it's like, I think what I'm learning and what I'm being forced to learn is that, hold on, remember that 6-year-old, remember that 7-year-old who would go through the line, who'd scream at his teammates, who would tackle someone and push their head into the floor and stand back up and feel dominant. All of that's on the cards. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it has to be on the cards, really, for me to feel anywhere near better. And this relationship with fear as well, you know, like there's such a better relationship with fear now. So much better. And I guess a lot of that comes with experience, but I think a lot of it has been from mentality turning towards it. Yeah. You know, I remember a quote that I saw, and it's been derived from Carl Jung and Nietzsche and all these people, I guess, that have circulated it through the years, and we've seen through films for generations of turning towards the fear.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We're not taught that, are we?
No.
Taught the opposite, aren't we?
Opposite. To solve something for what the fear thinks it is or suggests it is.
Mm.
You know, that's what we're all doing. Turning away from pain.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So beautiful to hear that you've moved more into a life of acceptance and gratitude. And I know you've done a ton of stuff. You're always working on yourself, from meditation to breathing, and I know you've done a lot though. You mentioned your 6-year-old self again, which is significant. You and I know that he's still in there, and he needs to be brought online sometimes and told that he can be himself. And public speaking, when I first met you, I thought, wow, this guy will be a great public speaker. And I know you've gone on that journey. And again, I said it at the start, I've spoke to people who say you're a really good public speaker.
Who are these people? You need to introduce me.
I can't tell you.
You need to let me refill that source of approval cup.
So my question is, are you at that stage yet where when you're speaking, you enter a state of flow and you become that 6-year-old again? Are you there yet? Because I think public speaking could be like rugby for you.
Yeah.
Are you there yet?
Sometimes I am.
Speak about that for us.
Yeah, sometimes I am. And that's why I do it. And there's still physical pain that I get with my head and dizziness. But it fills my soul up massively. Yeah, sometimes I've got like a structure that I'm going through.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm like, I go through to this moment where I'm like, all right, I'm here now. I'm here. I can play with it. And I'll have ideas come to my mind, and I go into improv. And I'm improvising what I'm talking about, and even using things to suggest and describe and show, you know, whether that's folding a piece of paper or playing with the idea of running through the defensive line, you know, for what it means in life, what it means to be a policeman when I did the Greater Manchester Police Talk. Yeah, mate, I'm alive. I'm not doing it to be an old, boring corporate speaker.
So you've got a game plan, but you also play what's in front of you.
Exactly, yeah. I'm running to that line, mate.
So you've managed to somehow bring all of your rugby experiences into the present moment and into your delivery of speaking, right?
Yeah.
You've integrated a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. There's that, you know, there's that pressure to perform. There's the performance. There's the prep as well. There's the idea that I can prep too much. You know, there's all of that stuff that plays into it. And there's if I'm working with teams, there's that bit like, am I going to make a mistake like I did when I was 24, when I was first captain and we flew to Catalans and I crumbled, mate, because I was wanting everyone else to perform and forgot about me. You know, there's all of these things that bury himself into the speaking. Yeah. And I have a perfect opportunity to go and be me, because I'm calling it the authenticity game plan.
The authenticity game plan.
So I'm holding myself and other people need to hold me to being me accountable.
Yeah.
So it's the authenticity game plan. The game plan is based on the fact of when we won a treble, when we won these games that we never should have won. You know, we have Brian Mack at the front who's speaking to us, and we're all there, sat there thinking how we're going to win this game. And the message that he'd give us is, look, you have the structure, you're going to get to this part on the field, but you're going to have to do something that doesn't just surprise the other team, but surprises yourself. Mate, I get tingles now thinking about it, because every person in that room goes, oh, I can be me here. It's not just about these boring flipping things that we have to, I'm not just a prop forward that has to go and get my head kicked in and line up on a post.
Yeah.
I can do that, and And there's going to be needs time to do that, but also I'm alive. That uncertainty, I am alive through this uncertainty, this fraction of uncertainty that I've been given. And I'm living that now, doing my talk, but also presenting that to people and bringing them alive.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it fills me with like anticipation.
Yeah, you give a few examples of Brian Mack, and it sounds like he had a father energy, so to speak.
I'd say so for a lot of players, yeah.
You know, it sounds to me, in some of the work that I do, Stevie, that you're in a place now, especially when you're speaking, where the father in you is giving your 6-year-old permission to just go and be himself.
Yeah. And that's probably one of the biggest things for me, is to realise that actually I need to be a parent to myself.
Nice.
You know, like that. I never thought of that when I was younger and growing up, because I guess you're always looking at how that's modelled to you through your parents, through coaches.
Yeah.
And, you know, in rugby league, mate, it's not exactly, it's all right, mate. You can feel that. Just
reparent yourself.
Yeah. It's like, you've got 20 burpees to do, mate. Do you know what I mean? That's how it is. And that almost like punishment reward thing comes in.
Yeah.
And I lived through that for many years.
Yeah.
And over the last few years, I'm like, I'm like so much kindness to myself.
Yeah. So
which scared me to death.
Yeah.
Because I thought, well, if I'm kind to myself, does that mean that I'm just never want to do anything? And does that mean I won't be successful? And does that mean and there's that uncertainty, because you're going, if I'm going to go to do this, I have to do this and trust that it's going to be all right.
You spent so many years beating yourself, right?
So many years, mate. And it's, you know, it still pops up now.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, there's fear there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, there's something going on here, and it's usually not out there, it's in me.
Yeah.
Well, it's always in me, you know. So that's what I'm noticing more and more is, and I never thought of it like that way, that the whole practice of speaking and the way I've set it up is that relationship playing out, to be honest.
Let's go into it a little bit more, because it's not normal for two rugby league lads to be sat on a podcast talking about reparenting their inner child, even though we've both done it, and I've done a lot of it, and done it in various ways on my own with therapists, through journaling, through meditation. Is there anything specific that you've done in that area to be kinder to you and be kinder to your younger self, just to share with the audience?
Yeah, one thing is Tonglen meditation.
Yeah.
Which is Pema Chodron. There's a Buddhist nun, you know. Yeah, you're right, mate. It doesn't sound like what rugby league.
So just for, again, so the viewers can understand, in Tonglen, this Buddhist practice, are you talking about doing it, imagining your inner child is in front of you, and you communicate, or within you, or
it's more
within,
seeing to my feelings. Yeah. Literally, I'm just sitting down, closing my eyes, and feeling whatever is showing up in my body, whether that's in my solar plexus, in my gut, whether that's a little bit up around my chest, sometimes in my throat, and I'll just, instead of thinking, why am I feeling like this? I shouldn't be feeling like this. I should be doing this. I'm just go through that, and I just breathe it in. So I breathe in all that dark, treacly feeling that is difficult, and then breathe out this spaciousness and okayness, and almost this fathering type, you know, this like energy where it's all right, you know, it's all right, it's all right, and it's been a game changer, mate. If I'm honest, it's been a game changer, and knowing it's all good. So then I'm not asking for people's opinions on stuff, you know, and I'm not. I can say things and ask for things, or come to a conclusion the same way, of the same conclusion, but from a different place. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I can say something through fear. Yeah. But I can say the same thing, but it's not through fear. Yeah. Because I know as soon as I go into that fear place, it's a chain reaction. and all of a sudden I'm paralyzed, and I'm in this search for certainty, and it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Do you know? And I've had to cut that cord so many times and go, don't exist that. It's all right. Doesn't exist. And I get to this place where I'm like, I'm here now. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's fine what's happening now.
Great.
And that's finding my way back to, I guess, that little boy or that version of me that was older. And it's like, this is what I'm doing. This is okay. You know, instead of second guessing and overthinking and all of that.
Nice. It's nice to hear you talk about that practice and how you've done it. I remember doing it 12 years ago on a 10-day silent retreat where we were taught to imagine someone you love is in front of you.
Yeah.
And I put my mother in front of me, and you inhale her suffering and you exhale love and acceptance. And it was unbelievable. I felt like somebody had ripped my whole heart open. And since that time, we've done it in my leadership retreats. We do it. It's a beautiful practice. I've done it through journaling. There's once I've still got it. I bought a little noddy doll. That's a symbol of my inner child.
Wow.
And sometimes he comes with me.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I say to clients now, Steve, is there's two key relationships in your life. One is your relationship, the relationship between the father in you and your younger self. And the other one is your relationship to silence and stillness.
Yeah.
How's your relationship to stillness and silence these days?
Mate, I'd say it's overtaken my relationship to other stuff. I'd say. Well, I know I need it 100%, you know, and that's not just because I have to sometimes avoid bright spaces, loud noises, but actually it's like, I just feel comfortable in it. I just feel I don't need.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel rested in it.
So you're more comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah, 100%.
For me, that's a sign of progress on this path of life. Some people say to me, well, you've done a lot of work on yourself. How do you measure it? Well, you can't really, but what I usually say is shit still comes, but shit doesn't stick.
Yeah.
And I'm just comfortable in my own skin, or more comfortable in my own skin.
But that for me was like a toughness that I imagined that I'd get through winning and success and achieve. Do you know what I mean? I felt like, I'm going to feel. I guess when we're growing up, we want to feel invulnerable. Do you know? And you have those moments when you're young and you get embarrassed or you're in a fight and then, well, that was a lot. That was a lot of energy and I couldn't manage it. It's messy. And then we get to a point where I just don't want to feel like that. I want to feel like everything's measured. Measured. Funny enough to say that, measured. Because we try and measure everything, as you said. How do you measure it? I want to feel like everything's okay.
Yeah.
You know? And we go the way of control instead of the way of acceptance and love anyway.
Yeah.
Which I guess I fell into a little bit when I was young. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like we can go and play here and we can be the best team. And we can also accept that we can't be. And we can go and give everything for each other, for ourselves. But we don't have to be over controlling and fearing so much and hammering each other.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And causing each other grief.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Oh, that's the test of toughness, or is it the test of?
Yeah.
As I said, it's like, is it coming from that place of love, or is it coming from that place of fear? And I think ultimately, a lot of in rugby is fear, and trying to grab hold of this thing is not to grab hold of.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was moments in that team and in that game where there was this staring into the threat, staring into the uncertainty,
being intimate with the fear.
Yeah. And when you walk into a grand final at Old Trafford, if you've not been intimate with the fear, it'll fuck you.
Yeah.
It'll absolutely,
yeah, of course,
take you. But if you are, you're alive then.
Yeah, fear can be an energy source if you're intimate with it, right?
Yeah.
Let's end by talking about toughness. I'm glad you brought it up. To be honest, we're going to do a part 2 at some stage, and we're just going to talk about toughness, because you and I grew up with a picture of what it is, and based on our journey in previous years, it's been redefined. How do you define toughness these days, Stevie?
Oh, that's a good question, that. I used to think, an old perception was like mental toughness was the complete, this is a few years ago actually, like the complete sort of disregard for your body and ability to switch off to it. You think of Navy SEALs in the war, and they're carrying this big flipping pole and on Hell Week and stuff, and ultimately the only way is to go through that is to get out of it mentally. And you think about what Gabor Mate talks about with ADHD, and he says, ADHD is just simply dissociation from the pain, what's going on in your body. And, I sometimes think that those experiences, they help prepare us for the tough things that we do, whether that's playing injured, whether that's doing something like the Royal Marines. It's almost like a training thing. So that's a way that I've thought about it before. I guess the way that I grew up thinking was just not letting anything affect you and being strong. I guess that's sort of like the conclusion I came to at that time and that moment.
Which is another way of saying don't feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And now it's very different now.
It's tough to feel, right, when you've grown up like you and I have, and I guess a lot of men and women, when we're taught not to feel, we're taught to repress our emotions and be stoic and put a mask on and pretend everything's okay. It's tough to open that box up again, isn't it? To learn how to feel.
Yeah.
But it sounds like what you're saying is real toughness for you in your life right now is to create enough safety in yourself to allow yourself to feel.
Yeah. That's my challenge at the moment.
Yeah.
That feeling, just feeling. And when I go off in my mind and creating a problem and then solving it, I'm like, no, that's not where it is. It's not where it is. There's this body of feeling that's there. And I think, my partner Natalie's a psychologist, and she does a lot of embodied stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a practice called TRE. I don't know if you've heard of it.
No.
Oh mate, it's unbelievable. And this is looping back to that tension trauma release exercise.
Oh, tension release exercises.
Yeah. And it's like setting your tremor off in your body.
I've seen them, yeah. You do. One of them involves that doesn't it? On your hip flexors, and you lift them up a bit more and then a bit more, and it causes a tremor in your body.
And we've all felt it in the gym, you're doing wall sits or you...
Yeah.
And there's that bit and you're like, oh, but you go deeper into it.
You go into that.
And your body just goes, it just takes over.
It activates your body's discharge response,
Yeah. So all that energy that you stored up is like, getting just shit.
Nice.
And some of the moments I've had with that, mate, and Natalie's holding the space, and it is that feeling. That,
so she's been helpful for you to feel
I don't know where
again.
I don't know where I'd be
nice.
if I didn't have Natalie. And this is the thing that I can come in here and say, it's all my self-work. But actually,
Yeah.
there's been moments where I've been off and not wanting that challenge.
Yeah.
But I guess like running to that line, I know that that's where I need to go.
Yeah.
You know, and the good thing is, I don't know where it is going to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah. I'm all right with what happens in the next 60 seconds, and so yeah, that's the challenge, and there's all these different modalities and practices that help me, but yeah, it's getting to know completely, I guess, where those beliefs come from, how they interface with what's going on now, where that sends me off down a rabbit hole, and bringing myself right back. That's probably one of the biggest ones, and bringing myself back to being okay with feeling. Nice. Just had it this morning, felt it in my body.
Yeah. And
there was a small part of me that didn't want to feel it.
Yeah, were you scared of me?
I don't think so. I'd say I don't think I was. I think I was.
I can be intimidating.
Yeah. You are. You're a big fella. No, but this is happening all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think it's from what's coming up. I think it's, well, maybe it is. That's another thing I'm actually getting, is reading it like an old language. Reading my body. Where's it at? Because for so many years, I've
checking
been like,
in.
Yeah, so many years I've been like,
yeah,
got to go and finally.
I live here.
Yeah,
I don't live here.
Yeah, got a training session on Monday, and we're doing 40 more tackles. And I just did 40 on Friday. We don't need to, and my body's like a wreck.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Where
you at now, mate? Just let's end on you in this moment when you leave here. What have you got going on that's exciting you?
Well, it's funny you asked that, because I'm speaking to some agent in America.
Wow.
Yeah, some creative sports agent.
Yeah.
Which for me is like where the mix is at the moment. It's the perfect mix. As we spoke about the speaking.
Is that TV? Is it acting? Is it speaking?
I think it's speaking, TV, film.
Wonderful.
Anything, really.
Yeah.
I think it crosses that spectrum, and maybe nothing even comes from it.
Yeah.
But because you ask, I'm like, well,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what will happen. I don't know why it's happening, but something might happen.
Great.
So that's where we are, and there's that lovely mix between sport and art, which is what really interests me at the moment. You know, that's like where I feel I'm allowed to feel the most, and where I feel the most about it. And I don't know what that is, but that's where it's at. And trying to feel better every day as well.
Beautiful, babe. Keep me posted on that one.
Yeah, I will do.
Well, what a conversation.
Yeah, it was good, that one.
We could talk for hours.
Yeah.
I hope we can do a part 2.
Yeah, definitely down for that, man.
My final question is, which is in alignment with, you know, your mental health organisation and work with young men. And if you had a message for any young man out there that is on this quest to become a hero and going through the trials and tribulations of being a young man, what's your message to those men based on your own life experience?
I think I don't know, what you are is more than enough. You know, like literally it's more than enough.
Yeah.
And you're going to lean out of it loads of times. Loads and loads of time you're going to lean out of it. And that's where you're going to feel anxiety and depression. I think when you stay in that, in who you are, that's more than enough. Yeah.
So that's another way of saying just be yourself, right?
Yeah.
Which is what I've loved most about this conversation, Stevie, to be honest. It's a simple message. It's not easy to get to, but just that, with reference to your own life, how you've accepted what is, and how you've used the gratitude practice to help you with that and other things, But yeah, the message of being okay with not knowing as well has really touched me. So thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And Steve, where can our audience find you?
You find me knocking around in coffee shops most of the time in Headingley. That's where you find me. You can follow me there if you want. Yeah, you follow me on there on Otley Road. You can find me on stevieward.co.uk and LinkedIn. I am on Instagram and stuff. A username that I made back when I was 16, Steve_Ward. I'm on Twitter as well. I've not used Instagram and Twitter recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, LinkedIn is where I'm probably more active. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks, mate. Really appreciate your time and your space and your energy. And hope you've enjoyed this episode. And I look forward to sharing the next episode of Dare to Be Different with you.